Let's start seated today. So just coming into comfortable cross-legged position. You can sit up on a blanket if that helps you to sit a little taller. That's a good thing if you tend to be tighter in the hips. And then let's start with our right shin crossed in front of our left. Maybe kind of just take a moment, rock side to side. So feel into those sit bones. And then press down evenly, and you might even want to take your hands and just roll that thigh flesh outward so you feel like you're spreading the sit bones, sitting nice and tall so you can really anchor down there. And then let's inhale, scrunch the shoulders up towards the ears, and let it go. So inhale, creating some tension so that we can let it go. A couple more like that. And let it go. Close your eyes if they're not already. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose, and then a full complete exhale through your nose. So start to hook up your Ujjayi breath. Right away, trying to move up into a place where the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale are really nice and even. It might take a moment or two to find that. You might even have to count the breath to get there, so that's absolutely fine. But pay attention to your breath. Let all of the outside noise just drift into the background. Let all of the chatter in your head drift into the background as well, as much as possible. As you exhale, you can visualize breathing down into your sit bones. So you're just reiterating that idea of rootedness. And then you use your inhale to help you find length and space. It's as though the breath is pulling you in opposite directions. Good. Gently blink your eyes open from here. Inhale, stretch your arms up. So about shoulders distance apart, maybe even a little wider, especially if you're a little tighter in the shoulders starting out. Fingers can be gently spreading. Palms are facing towards each other. You're feeling your inner arm wrap towards your outer arm. Feel your lower belly pull in and up a little bit here. Good, and then we're gonna find a little twist. So I want you to think twisting from lowermost left rib, deep inhale, exhale. Might not be a very big move at all, but start to wrap those left ribs to the right. Another deep inhale, imagine somebody is pulling you up by your wrists. Hold on to that as you exhale, stretch your arms out wide, so wrists in line with your shoulders. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, maybe you can twist in a little deeper. And then go ahead and bring your left hand to the outside of that right thigh, right fingertips behind you, beautiful. Gently pressing your shoulder heads back. Perhaps you start to bring your gaze out over your right shoulder, feeling that stretch through the left side of the neck. And you only go so far as feels good in your neck, so sometimes that can be really intense. Welcome, Casey and Megan. Good to see you, ladies. All right, so I want you to stay in the twist here. Take a nice deep inhale, but as you exhale, start to bring your gaze out over your left shoulder. And then tuck your chin a little bit. So it's just gonna get into a different place in the neck. Did your shoulder blades creep up around your ears? Soften them down. Good, and then let's find a little lateral stretch here. So keep pressing that your left hand into your right thigh. Root into your sit bones as you inhale. Stretch your right arm up and over. Pinky side of that hand is spinning down, so it's like the palm is gonna face behind you. Maybe you begin to bring your gaze up underneath that right arm, feeling all of this lateral stretch. It can be intense, but it also kind of feels good. Deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, let's just go ahead and bring our right hand down to our left thigh, and let's just do a little cat-cow here. So continue to round in on that exhale. Inhale, chest extends forward any amount. Exhaling, rounding, so a little funky, kind of getting into the shoulders, but definitely opening up the spine. Inhale, arch, couple more. Exhale, round in. Inhale, arch in your lumbar. One more, exhale, round. Stay here like this. Uncross your hands, and then slowly start to roll up to your tall seat here. We're going to extend our legs to straight, and then we recross with the left shin in front. Notice if this side feels a little different, then again, maybe you want to just take your hands, manually roll the thigh flesh outwards so you can feel that wideness across your sit bone, so you have this nice base on which to sit. Eyes closed. Drop into that sound of your breath again. Nice smooth inhale through your nose, full complete exhale through your nose. As you focus on that sound of your breath, as you bring your attention there, everything else fades into the background. Good. So blink your eyes open. As you inhale, feel this lengthening through the sides of your waist. Stretch your arms out and up. So shoulders distance apart, maybe a little wider. Imagine that somebody is pulling you up by your wrist, so you're getting a little taller. As you're doing that, though, let those shoulder blades release down. Deep inhale, twisting from this lowermost right rib. So generate the movement there. You might not go quite as far as you might otherwise. Start to spin to the left. Exhale, stretch your arms out perpendicular to your shoulders. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, see if you can twist in a little more in this configuration. Reach your left fingertips behind you. Right hand comes to the outside of that left thigh. Gently press back. So we're looking to feel this openness, this stretch across the pectorals. Maybe you begin to bring your gaze out over that left shoulder. Move in that direction as far as feels comfortable in your neck. Listening to your breath, always coming back to that sound of your breath when your attention wanders. So we're going to stay in this twist, but as you exhale, just bring your gaze towards your right shoulder and then tuck your chin a little bit. So feel that stretch in the back of the neck. Continue to sit tall. Continue to let your shoulder blades release down. And then we're going to find that little funky lateral side stretch. So you basically stay like this, but we inhale. Take that left arm up and over. It's like a reverse warrior feeling in the upper body. Pinky side of the left hand spins down, shoulder blades release down your back. Can you use that leverage to twist these right ribs up towards the ceiling? Are you breathing? Couple more breaths. Take up space. Let this feel good. All right, so as we exhale, we're gonna unwind around in the thoracic. Let your chin release towards your chest. Left hand to right thigh. Inhale. Arching in your lower back, so a little seated cat-cow, exhaling, rounding in. Inhaling, finding that length, couple more like this. Okay, the next time you inhale, come on up, just release your hands and then flip onto your tabletop. So landing with your shoulders over your wrists, fingers spreading, pressing evenly, knees underneath your hips. And we're gonna do a little bird dog here. So keep your gaze an inch or two in front of your fingertips. As you inhale, right leg, left arm, lift and reach. Keep the hips nice and even, yeah. As you exhale, you release down. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale, release. And then I want you to continue like that at your pace. I want you to find lots of traction in here. So you're really lengthening out. You're using outer hips to help you stabilize and ground in. You're moving with your breath. So you're finding this idea of vinyasa, connecting movement with the breath. Let that feel really good. Just challenging the balance a little bit here too. Couple more to each side. Absolutely no rush. Good. So when you finish that left leg, right arm, go ahead and come back to your tabletop position. We're gonna reach our right toes back, curl them under on the mat. So feel that inner right thigh spiral up towards the ceiling. Curl your left toes back. So we're in plank pose. Sternum stretches forward. Keep the back of your neck nice and long so you're looking an inch or two in front of your fingertips. Fire up the legs. Use them more than you think you can. Imagine that you're against a wall here. You're pressing your heels back. And then we shift way forward on our toes. You can come to your knees if you like. We're gonna take 5 to land on our bellies. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Tops of the feet press, reach your arms by your side so palms just face in towards each other. You can rest on your forehead here. Press into all 10 toenails. Keep your thumbs pressing down into the mat. As you inhale, head and chest extend forward and up. Feel those shoulder blades squeeze. And then maybe start to lift your arms up off the mat a little bit. Maybe you can get a little more extension and lift. Nice, Pamela. Breath smooth and steady. Legs lift an inch or two. Really squeeze the outer hips in towards each other. Keep rolling to the outer edges of the feet even though they're lifted. Exhale, roll on down. Fingertips come underneath your shoulder heads. Elbows squeeze in, shoulder heads lift, all of the same actions. And then just moving with the breath. Inhale, chest extends forward and up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower down. So coming into our low cobra, inhaling up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up here. Hold here, so continue to breathe. Feel your pubic bone, your hip bones anchoring you down to the earth. And then let's just start to bring our gaze out over that right shoulder. So getting into the neck a little bit. Exhale to center. And inhale, look out over that left shoulder. Good, exhale to center. So you can stay here like this if you're ready for an up dog. Drag your hands back a lot. Wrists are underneath your elbows. As you inhale, press into the tops of your feet, press into your hands. Shoulder heads press back. Legs really active. Use them more than you think you can. Kind of just gazing forward. So the front of the neck, the back of the neck, nice and long and even. Good work. From your up dog, roll over your toes to your downward dog. If you're in your low cobra, press to your tabletop. And make your way back. And then when you get here, just find a little movement. Anything that feels good. Pedal back and forth between your feet. Shift hips side to side. Little bend in the knees is always really nice for this first Downward facing dog. It takes the hamstrings and the lower back out of the equation. For some of us, that makes it a little more accessible. And you eventually find this place of stillness. So as you release your head, you can gaze between your feet, see that they're hips distance apart. You start to firm muscle to bone in your legs and in your arms. So you're working your entire body a lot. Good. So from here, let's start to walk our hands back to meet our feet. Nice and slow. You can have a little bend in your knees as you come into this forward fold. As you inhale, you're going to bring your hands to your shins or thighs. Fingertips could be on the floor as well. Chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. As you exhale, fold in, let the back of the neck release down. Couple like that. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Good. Inhale, lengthen Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in. This time press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up or forward and up. Coming into your extended mountain pose. Nice work. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Couple rounds of our Ardha Surya Namaskara. Half sun salute. Inhaling, reaching. Exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. Two more on your own, just moving with your breath. Maybe close your eyes here. Let these feel really good. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, folding in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold. Pressing down to rise up. I said two more on your own and then I cued you. So this next one, on your own, I won't talk. All right, so you're at the back of your mat. Have your feet hips distance apart if they're not already. As you inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, hinge, forward fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward. Keep looking forward. Start to slowly walk your hands forward into your downward facing dog. Keep the heels pressing back as long as you can. Couple of breaths here. So ears releasing between your inner arms, your biceps. Inhale, right leg lifts, keep hips even. Exhale, step that foot through, land on your left knee. So low lunge, we're just gonna move with the breath here. You might want to have your hands on block. So exhale, melt in. Inhale, pull back. So right leg comes to straight, any amount. Exhale, sink in. Good, inhale, pull back. Good, couple more, exhale, melt in. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, sink in. Stay here, bring your hands up to that right thigh, low crescent lunge. As you inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Right fingertips to left wrist. Squeeze that right hip in as you lean off to the left. Shoulder blades releasing down your back. Maybe looking up underneath that top arm. Good, inhale up to center. Exhale, hands plant on either side of your right foot. Curl your left toes under. Keep your hips this low as you step your right foot to meet your left foot in plank pose. Take an inhale here. Strong, strong legs. As you exhale, shift forward, maybe come to knees, lower halfway, hover, or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, you pull back into your downward facing dog. As we inhale, we lift our left leg. Exhale, step that foot through, land on your right knee. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. Melt that right hip down, big hip flexor stretch, and then inhale. Pull your left leg to straight any amount. Exhaling in, little vinyasa, warming up the big muscles here in the legs. Inhale, pull back. Couple more. Exhaling in. Good, inhaling, pulling back. Good, exhale, come on in again. Inhale, pull back. Final one here, exhale, come on in. Hands come up to that left thigh. Direct tailbone down. Inhale, arms reach up. Left fingertips to right wrist as you exhale, side bend to the left. Really squeeze that left hip in. Feel that stretch to the right side. Maybe start to gaze up underneath that top arm. Really beautiful. Inhale, we come up to center. As we exhale, hands plant. Curl right toes under. We're going to step our right foot to meet our left foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Good work. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hinge, forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward. Good, exhale, step that left foot way back, land on the knee. We're gonna inhale, rise up, crescent pose. Bring your palms to face forward, make fists. As you exhale, pull down nice and slow like you're going through molasses. Inhale, it's like you're pressing a barbell up. Good, exhale, open up, try to squeeze those shoulder blades in towards each other so you're feeling some openness across the heart and chest. Inhale, press up. Nice work. As you exhale, pull down. Inhale, press up. Release fingers, palms face towards each other, gaze up, maybe press palms. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Curl those left toes under, keep your gaze forward, right foot steps back to meet left foot, take an inhale. Exhale, shift forward, lower halfway hover or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, step that foot through, land on your right knee. Good, inhale, rise up, Anjalayasana, low crescent. Palms face forward, make fists again. Exhale, slowly like you're moving through molasses, firm up the muscles. Inhale, press up, keep directing your tailbone down. Exhale, feel this stretch across the pectorals, the front of the chest, trying to open that up. Inhale. Good, exhale, pull down here. Nice work. Inhale, reach up. Release your fist, palms press, maybe gaze up. As you exhale, hands return to the mat. Curl right toes under, step that right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, fold in. Pressing down into your feet, stretching arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Good work. Inhaling, reaching up, Utthita Hastasana into Tadasana. Exhale, fold into your Uttanasana. Inhale, chest lengthens forward. Exhale, step that right foot back, land on the knee. Inhale, rise up, Anjalayasana. Good, and then you're gonna make cactus arms as you exhale. Good, take an inhale here. As we exhale, press elbows, palms in towards each other. So just flies, inhale, open up, feel shoulder blades squeeze, lean the elbows back, exhale, press in. Good, inhale, open up. Nice work. As you exhale, press in here. Good, one more, open up. And then inhale, extend your arms up overhead, gaze up, press palms. As you exhale, you unwind, palms plant, curl right toes under, fire up that leg. Step left foot to meet the right foot into plank pose, take an inhale. Exhale, lower halfway hover or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through, land on your left knee. Good, inhale, rise up, Anjaliasana. Exhale into your cactus arms, take an inhale. Exhale, really firm the muscles as you squeeze in here. Inhale, open up, think a little cow stretch in your upper body. As we exhale and press in, there's a little sense of that cat stretch, a little thoracic rounding. Inhale, open. Good, exhale, press in. Nice work. And then we inhale, open up, stretch the arms up, press palms together, gaze up. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Curl left toes under and step that left foot to meet your right foot. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, fold in. Pressing into your feet, stretching arms out and up. Good work as you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, reach. Starting to feel some heat, enjoy that. Exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward, so keep looking forward. Step right foot back, then left. So here we are in our plank pose. Good, exhale, shift forward. Lower halfway, hover, or all the way down. Use the legs a lot. Inhale into your back bend. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. Full crescent pose this time as we inhale, rise up. Good, take an exhale. And then inhale, press both legs to straight. So right hip back, left hip forward. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, press to straight. Good. Exhale, sink in. Stay here, but as you inhale, start to straighten that left leg any amount. All right. Feel the outer hips squeezing a lot, especially this right one. Right fingertips to left wrist as you exhale. Start to side bend here. Off to the right. Then maybe you want to release your right hand down that left leg. Start to gaze up underneath that top arm. Inhale, upright yourself here. Gaze up, press palms. As you exhale, palms return to the floor. Step back to your plank pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower halfway, hover all the way down, maybe using your knees. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. Make sure you're not on a tight rope, so feet hip distance apart. Inhale, rise up. Full crescent pose. Take an exhale. And then inhale, think left hip driving back, right hip forward as you start to straighten your legs. Exhale, bend both knees. Couple more. Inhale, press to straight, really firming muscles. Exhale, sink in. Keep this deep bend in this left knee. Inhale, straighten that back leg any amount. It might not get all the way there. Left hip squeezes in. Left fingertips to right wrist. As you exhale, lean off to the left. Spin those left ribs up, maybe looking up underneath that top arm. And then maybe a few of us reach that left hand down that right leg. Good, strong legs. Inhale, upright, gaze up. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step to your plank pose. Take your chaturanga vinyasa, moving with your breath. Good, from your downward dog, let's take a quick little child's pose. So just lower to your knees, big toes together, knees apart. Melt your hips back, stretch your chest forward. So take a deep inhale through the nose, and then open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And then try to slow that breath down again. The inhale's getting a little longer. The exhale's getting a little longer. Start to find a little twist, so walking your hands off to the right, wrapping left ribs towards right thigh. You can just rest your left ear on that upper left arm. Good, walk back to center, and then off to the left. Good, back to center here. Stretch your arms forward, spread fingers, press evenly, rock on up to tabletop. Make sure that your wrists are slightly ahead of your shoulders. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Good, so as you inhale, find a little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes. And at the end of your exhale, you can lightly hop both feet through. You can step right and left. You can walk feet forward. As you inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. As you exhale, fold in. Inhale, root down into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So one round of our Surya Namaskar B. We'll do it classic today. So throwing in our Utkatasana and our Virabhadrasana 1. As you inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, fold in, inner thighs spiral back as you straighten legs. Inhale, chest lengthens forward, gaze comes forward. Bend knees, plant palms, left foot back, then right, lower on the same exhale. Inhale into your back bend, strong, strong legs. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through, spin into the back edge of your left foot, drag that left hip forward. Think crescent pose here, even though it's hard to get that. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Take a chaturanga vinyasa or pull back to downward facing dog. You can keep that right leg lifted if you want. Just make sure that you place those toes down before you come into your back bend. And then finish up your left side on your own with your breath. We all meet back in downward facing dog. And a few breaths here. As you inhale, find a little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes. End of your exhale, lightly spring forward, step left and right, walk forward, however you want to get there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhaling, knees bend, arms reach up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good, nice and slow as you exhale. Press your legs to straight, hands come together at your heart. Close your eyes, take a couple of breaths. Good, and then blink your eyes open, release your hands by your side. Let's find our triangle pose. If you do have a block, just go ahead and grab it. So we're gonna step wide on our mats. Block is gonna go behind your right ankle. All right, so edges of the feet start parallel to the edges of the mat. Feel the outer feet, or the outer edges of the feet squeeze in towards each other. And just notice how that informs the center of the body here. So it's like everything is coming into the midline. Hold on to all of that from deep within this right hip socket. Turn that leg out to 90 degrees. And then spin these left toes in. So hips aren't on the same plane. They're going to be doing something different. Your torso is squaring towards the long edge of your mat. Inhale, arms will reach up. So let's just do this a few times. As you exhale, lengthen, hinge at that right hip crease. Inhale, go in the opposite direction. So it's like that left hip squeezes in. Exhale, right hip pulls back. Good. Inhale. Feel that action from the opposite leg. One more. Exhale. Good. Inhale, come up. And then as we exhale, we keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Hand can come to thigh or shin. Block is great. Fingertips might come to the earth underneath you. So back of the foot. Feel shoulder blades stack on top of each other. Lengthening through the right side. Press a little more to the inner edge of the right foot. So big, big hip opening happening here in that front leg. Few breaths. Feel your shoulder blades stack on top of each other. But as you're finding that action, you're also taking up lots of space here. Good. And let's get into the shoulder a little bit. So start to externally rotate left palm to face behind you. Bend the elbow. You can hold onto a piece of shirt. You can press the back of your hand into your spine. Maybe you can get your left fingertips to the inside of your right thigh. So we're just trying to find a little leverage so we can lean that left shoulder back. So we're feeling that openness again, that stretch. And it can feel quite intense depending upon how tight your shoulders are, how you're built. Okay, so if you would like to get into the core a little bit here, kind of come out of this a little bit, let that right hand get really light, stretch that arm forward. So we just have this nice long line, and this is going to intensify that hip stretch that you're feeling in that front leg. All right, let's stay here like this. Start to bend your right knee. And then you might stay in the wrap like this, upright your upper body. We find that lateral stretch that we've been doing a lot today. So this funky reverse warrior. Good, inhale, press. Right leg to straight. Good, release. Parallel your feet. You can move the block to the other side. All right. So from deep within this left hip socket, turn that leg out to 90 degrees. Right toes turn in, we're heel to arch. Pressing to the inner edge of this left foot, so that turns on this hip opening action. Make sure that your torso is squaring to the long edge of your mat. So all of these little micro different things going on. Arms reach up. All right, so as you exhale, just think this left hip cutting in, you lengthen through the left side. Do the opposite. Inhale up. Good, exhale. It's just kind of finding that action in our legs and in our hips. Inhale, cut in with this right hip. One more, exhale. Good, inhale up. And then this time, exhale, hold on to this. Keep reaching, 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 lengthening. Again, hand can come to your thigh, your shin. Fingertips on the floor, hand on block is nice. Higher is always nicer. It helps us to find a little more space. Vigorously press to the inner edge of your left foot. Feel that inner left thigh wrap towards your outer left thigh. Seal into the back edge of your right foot. As you do that, can you wrap those left ribs up towards the ceiling a little more? And then we get into this right shoulder. So start to spin that right palm to face behind you. You're externally rotating. Bend the elbow, grab a piece of shirt, piece of pants, hand to the back of your spine. Maybe you can get those fingertips to the inside of your left thigh. Find more length through the left side. So much so that your left hand starts to feel light wherever it's at. Maybe you stretch those fingers forward. If you go there and it's too much, you skip it. Right shoulder head back, left ribs roll up. Breath smooth and steady. Little smile on your face. Make sure that you're not clenching your teeth, your jaw. It's only yoga. All right, deep inhale. Exhale. Bend your left knee, and then we're going to find that reverse warrior. So as you inhale, take that left arm up and over. Sink in nice and deep. Next inhale, press that front leg to straight. Good. As you exhale, you unwind, parallel your feet. Let's take a little forward fold here. So interlacing your fingers at the small of your back. As you inhale, heart reaches. Outer hip squeeze in. As you exhale, hinge, forward fold in any amount. Little micro bend in your elbows if you're hyper flexible. That's going to help you to engage the upper arms a little more, get into the shoulders. This looks good. Check in with your feet. Are you gripping the toes? Is all of the weight in the heels? Find that like happy medium. Good. So just stay here in this forward fold, but just go ahead and release your hands down to the mat. We're going to turn this into a little twist. You might want to grab your block if you're a little tighter here. So we're going to bring our right hand underneath our nose. And like I said, the hand could be on a block. Bring your left hand to your sacrum. So feel that the sacrum is nice and flat. Lean the elbow back as you exhale, start to twist to the left. So that left shoulder presses back. You might stay here like this. Maybe you start to extend that left arm up. So just seeing what feels good here. You might be gazing up at those left fingers if it feels okay. Nice work. That looks good, Pamela. Make sure that your head is still an extension of your spine here. So sometimes we have to lift it just a little bit. Gorgeous. When we're deep, inhale. Keep squeezing the outer edges of the feet in towards each other as you exhale, unwind. And then you're going to take that left hand underneath your nose or on a block. Right hand comes to your right hip crease, or actually to your sacrum, so the flat part of the bottom of your tailbone. As you exhale, start to spin your left ribs to the right. Nice. Maybe you just stay here like this, leaning that right shoulder head back. Maybe you start to extend your right arm up. You feel those shoulder blades stack on top of each other. Again, neck is an extension of the spine, so you're not tucking your chin, lengthening forward, maybe gazing up. How does this side feel different in your body? Does it feel different? Good. One more deep inhale. Wrap those left ribs to the right, a micromillimeter more. And then as you exhale, you unwind. Just hanging forward here. Might have a little bend in your knees. Let the back of the neck go. And then bring your hands to your hips. Elbows squeeze in. As you inhale, find a flat back. So you're kind of in that Ardha Uttanasana. Take an exhale. And then inhale, press into your feet. Come up to standing. Step your feet together. Good. We're going to come onto our backs. We're going to do a little bridge pose, and then we're going to move into supported bridge pose. So have a block handy. If you don't have a block, you could use some books. You could roll up your yoga mat. All right. So on your back here, ankles underneath your knees, arms by your side, feet about hips distance apart. So as you inhale, I want you to notice how there is this natural curve in your lumbar, your lower back. As you exhale, I want you to start to lose that. So you flatten your spine so much so that as you direct that tailbone forward, you press into your feet, lift your hips up off the mat. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead so palms face towards each other. Exhale, release your hips down. Inhale, arms release by your side. Again, notice that natural curve in your lumbar. Exhale, start to lose that curve as you pull your belly in and up, lifting hips up off the mat. Good. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Good. Exhale, lower hips down. Inhale, arms reach by your side. One more like that. So inhaling, natural curve. As you exhale, press into your feet, direct your tailbone forward. Inhale, stretch arms up overhead. So this time, take an exhale here. Keep hips lifted. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, release your arms by your side. Couple of options. Grab the outer edges of your mat. Snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. Maybe you interlace your fingers underneath you. Drag your knuckles towards heels. Several breaths here. So you're feeling this widening across your heart and chest. You're feeling your inner thighs spiral down towards the mat. Notice if you're rolling to the outer edges of your feet. Keep pressing evenly here. Think Tadasana feet. And then if your arms are interlaced here, you can stay in this configuration as you start to lower your hips down. Sometimes it's just a nice little wrist stretch. shoulder stretch. So just take a couple breaths like that if you'd like to. Good, and then go ahead and release hands. So find your block. I'm gonna slide that underneath the sacrum. So inhale, press into your feet, and then take that block to your sacrum. So it should feel fairly stable and comfortable here. What tends to happen is we get the block too high, so it comes into the lumbar, the lower back, feels really uncomfortable. So bring that block closer to your heels, and then snuggle those shoulder blades underneath you. Feel how your chest rises towards your chin on the inhale. Notice how everything contracts inward as you exhale. Back of the neck is nice and long here. And if the eyes are open, the gaze is soft and gentle, so you're not looking around. You're definitely not rocking head side to side in this pose, since there's a lot of pressure there, a lot of weight there. You can very consciously start to shift your breath here, slowing it down, letting the inhale get longer, letting the exhale get longer. And then if you'd like to, for a breath or two, stretch the arms up overhead again. Maybe interlace fingers, press palms to face behind you. Feel the inner arm wrap towards the outer arm. Let's just get a little more length. Good. As you exhale, take your arms by your side. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up off the block. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down. You're gonna walk your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out in a T shape, nice and slow. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. So knees fall to one side, then to the other. Just releasing the lower back out after that back bending. Good, and then come to center. Hug the knees in, and we're gonna start to roll forward and back on the spine a few times. If that does not feel good in your body, you skip it and simply roll off to one side or the other. We're gonna eventually roll up to seated here, and we're gonna find our Sukhasana again. So we're gonna come into hip stretch. I'm gonna actually give you a couple of options here. So there's a little bit of a mix and match situation to get into the hips. So if you know that hips are tighter in a forward fold, sit up on something. We're gonna start with our right shin crossed in front, and then you can forward fold from here. If you have the flexibility in your hips to stack shins on top of each other, you are welcome to take this variation too, so this fire log pose. If you want to play with your Gomukhasana, so your cow face legs, stacking knees on top of each other, this one's probably the most challenging for most of us. You can come into this. I like it. It gets into a different place. You can kind of modify this by bringing your heels closer to your hips. If you're a little more flexible, shins come parallel to the top of the mat. So your choice here. See what is calling to you. You can kind of play around with all three and see where you want to be. Or if you know that you love your forward fold in Sukhasana, you can do that. If you are in your Sukhasana and you're pretty close to the floor, you can make fists with your hands. Just rest your forehead there or grab a block. So give yourself a little something to rest on. Slow the breath down. Send your exhale to the spots that are really tight. So in the hips especially, this can almost be like borderline excruciating. So if that's where you're at, you back out a little bit. But then you also make sure that you're still breathing, and you just remember that, we're just here for a minute or so. It's not forever. You also remember that you're doing something really good for your body, even if it isn't easy. As you inhale, wherever you're at, just start to roll on up, and then let's find a little twist in this pose, wherever you're at. So you can stay in whatever configuration you have with your legs. Inhale, stretch the arms up. As you exhale, twist to the right, and then left hand to the outside of right thigh, right fingertips behind you, maybe on a block if you're sitting up on a blanket. And maybe just bringing your gaze out over that right shoulder. These look really nice. And let's just do it one more time because we can. Let's just find that little reverse warrior feeling. So keep pressing into that left palm. Inhale. Stretch your right arm up and over. Roll the left ribs up. Good. And then as you exhale, upright yourself. All right. You're going to want to extend your legs to straight. Give them a little shake out. And then we come into the second side. So you might be doing exactly the same pose. You might need to modify a little bit. Again, left shin in front of right shin, folding forward here, perhaps stacking your shins on top of each other. So if your knee is up really high, this probably isn't the pose for you. If it is available in your body and you kind of like the different place that this gets into your hips, stacking knees on top of each other, one side is going to feel a little more intense than the other. So just know that. Then again, do less if that's what needs to happen. And you melt in here. You pay attention to the sensations that you're getting. You notice how this feels in your body. You find your breath if you've lost it. Maybe you notice if you're gripping, holding anywhere that you don't need to. If you let go there, can you find a little more release, a little more ease in the pose? Maybe you simply need to let go of the idea that you actually have to go any further in this pose. You just be good with where you're at. All right, so start to walk your hands in. As you inhale, arms stretch. Exhale, start to twist to the left. Right hand to the outside of that left thigh, fingertips behind you, left hand, just to help you keep that height in your spine. And then to give you a little leverage to wrap those right ribs in, maybe start to bring your gaze out over that left shoulder head. Good. Keep pressing that right palm into your left thigh, root into your sit bones. Inhale. Stretch that left arm up and over. Shoulder blades releasing down your back, right ribs spinning up towards the ceiling. Good. As you inhale, come on up. So on cross legs, just give them a shake, give them a squeeze. We come into our final resting pose here. So you're welcome to end seated in quiet meditation if that feels good for you today. Otherwise, you're coming onto your back. You can take your feet wide, allow your knees to knock in towards each other. So constructive rest, more classic Shavasana. If there is any sensation underneath or in your lower back, just take something underneath your knees. Otherwise, classic Shavasana here. Enjoy this. So these final moments before you return to all of the things that you need to get done for the rest of the day. Just enjoy how it feels to be quiet, to check in, to rest. Take a deeper inhale. And open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, circle ankles and wrists. Just bring some movement back to your body. And staying soft and quiet, roll to one side or the other, find the fetal position. Then you're going to use your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. Here we are again. How does it feel different, this Sukhasana? Are you sitting a little taller with a greater sense of ease? How is your breath different? How's your headspace shifted? Send your body love and gratitude for showing up and for working hard. And just promise yourself that you're going to carry a little of this good feeling with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week ahead. And bring your palms together at heart. Just bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today, everybody. Thank you. So good to see all of you. Namaste.